Have you ever walked away from a conversation or from meeting someone and felt incredibly drained? Have you ever felt that someone you're talking to is just exuding negative energy? Or have you ever felt that you've had a really tough conversation with someone and they're just being super negative to you, whether that's online or in person? Unfortunately, a lot of us deal with negative people and a lot of us come across negative energy. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down how we deal with the negative people, how we do not let a negative energy affect us, and how we live a more positive, empowered, and happy life. So hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're an OG, thank you so much for supporting me to create these videos for you every single week. Really quickly, if you could press the like and subscribe button, it would genuinely mean the world to me. So I've been wanting to do this video for a really long time because a lot of people ask me, Shivani, how do you deal with negative comments? How do you deal with negative people? How do you block people out of your life? And I think that it's a really simple solution to be like, block everyone out of your life that's negative. But unfortunately, a lot of us have little negative energy drainers that we can't block out our lives. Whether they're a family friend, whether they're a cousin, whether they're a friend, whether they're their family, whether they're, I don't know, a work colleague. There are a lot of people that are probably in your life that you feel you can't just cut the relationship from. And so we need to create tools, we need to find strategies on how we can manage that negative energy that we constantly get. I want to start by saying it is crucial to remember that our environment and the people around us greatly influence our well-being and our mindset. Our environment is super important. So, you know, it's obvious that you should surround yourself with positive people, but there are times where you just can't. And this is where I go back to my first point is there will be a lot of people in your life that perhaps are negative or just are have negative energy, and you just can't unfortunately cut them out. So I think the first things first is, how do you know if someone's negative? So let's recognize what being negative means, because it can manifest its way into your life in so many different ways. That could be a person in terms of the way they speak to you, or in terms of what they say about you or they say about other people. It could be someone's mindset in the way that they're always skeptical, they're just always worried about something, and that can really enforce its way into you and be like, wow, that is so much negative energy to take on. And I think generally a lot of the time, if you're working online, you can see a lot of negative comments, you can see a lot of negativity in terms of like the news. A lot of people feel uncomfortable around because it's constantly talking about negative things, or it can manifest its way into so many different other ways too. So I think it's important to understand that these people exist, situations exist, but you are in control. I remember seeing this incredible quote: "An entire sea of water can't sink a ship unless it gets inside the ship. Similarly, the negativity of the world can't put you down unless you allow it to get inside of you." And so it's super important to remember that even if you're in a situation right now, you can get out of it. You are 100% in control. And I'm going to take you through it throughout this video. When you're dealing with negative people, there's two questions you need to ask yourself. Why do I care? And what am I going to do about it? Now, this is my approach to dealing with any of these situations. So the first step is identifying, why do I care? If I care that someone has been negative to me because they are a family member, they are a friend, they are somebody who I work with, whoever it is, if it's a relationship that I care about, I will do something about it. Now, I've come up with another video on how to have a difficult conversation, which I will leave here. If you care about the person, if you want to solve it, if they are having an impact on your life, if you need to repair a relationship, whatever it is, watch this video and follow this guide into how to have a difficult conversation. That is if you care. It is so important to identify why you care, because if you do, then you can solve it. If you're caring because it's a troll online, or you're caring because of what this random auntie is going to say to you, you really need to break that down and to be like, why do I care what 36007 says about me online? Why do I care what that random person is saying about me? Because at the end of the day, unfortunately, if you work online, there is going to be so many people that disagree with you. There's going to be people watching this video, maybe one of you, who hate me. Who knows? But you might be watching the video, be like, you're chatting this, or you're talking about this, and I don't resonate. That's fine. You might not resonate, but I know that I'm resonating with some people. And so if you don't resonate and you're going to comment on my video or photo saying that, I'm just going to ignore it. And I've learned how to do that, because unfortunately, you cannot please everyone. You cannot be loved by everyone, and you're never going to win against every single person on the planet. And if I'm quite honest, it's a bit narcissistic to think that you can be loved by every single person and everyone's going to agree with you, because everyone has an opinion these days and not everyone's going to agree with everyone. That's totally okay. And I've just learned to be a lot more comfortable with that. So I think here it's really important to identify why do you care, and it can be really empowering, because if someone is negative to you, you can be like, that person was bitching about me, but I literally don't care. Someone made a TikTok video about me, but I just don't care. Someone's wrote this comment about me, but I just don't care. And that is genuinely the practice that I use to make sure that I am shielded against any negative energy or any negative people. If I love you, I will make a conscious effort to make sure I resolve that with you, because at the end of the day, I don't believe people are inherently bad. I think if someone's being negative, they might be worried, they might be scared, they might have all these fears that you're perhaps not aware of, and they're projecting them on you. And if you have a conversation with someone you love, you can absolutely understand those. I know that I've had that difficult conversation with people that I love in terms of me quitting my job. And at first it was like, oh, you're being negative. But when I understood it, it was just a fear that they had. And therefore I was able to repair that relationship rather than jumping to the conclusion of just cutting them out of my life. My key point here, and I really want to emphasize this if you're struggling right now with dealing with negative people or dealing with negative energy. If someone is consciously being negative to you, and this is the example I'm talking about, not if they're indirectly doing it, if someone is consciously trying to bring you down, why are you going to give them that power? Why are you going to give them what they want? That's exactly what they want from you. They want a reaction from you. They want you to be upset. They want to ruin your day. They want to get on with their day, having a great day, and they want you to feel upset by their comment. So why am I going to give you that power? I'm not. And that is one of the most empowering statements I've ever absorbed, and I just live by it. If someone is trying to hurt me and I know they're doing it intentionally, do it. You can't touch me, is how I see it. I see that I have a bubble around me, and Sonali, who gives me the crystal bracelets, she told me that once. She said, just pretend that there is a bubble around you and no one can touch you. There's a scene in Harry Potter, if you're a Harry Potter fan, where they're marking the castle and they're putting a bubble around the castle so that the Dementors and all those people on Voldemort's side can't get into the castle easily, and they're protecting themselves. And I kind of see myself as having that bubble around me in which someone's going to say something negative to me. You just touch the bubble. You're not going to break it. And so that has taken me a long time to adjust to. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not that every time someone's mean to me or every time I get a negative comment or whatever that I don't get upset. There are so many mean comments I get on Instagram, so many mean comments, but half the time they're from random people. I mean, all the time they're from random people. It's never, ever a known person. And half the time, they're just things that I'm just not insecure about. If someone says, why aren't you married? I'm just genuinely not insecure about it because it's a choice. It's like someone saying to me, why is your hair blue? My hair isn't blue. So I'm just not going to be insecure about it. Sometimes though, I do have some insecurities and people do bring them up and they hurt me. And sometimes when people are negative to me, especially I've heard people say this, someone's trying to put on an insecurity of you. If they are, they're not your friend, and I don't think that you should associate with them, if I'm completely honest, because if you've openly and vulnerably said, I'm insecure about this, and someone's constantly using it as a weapon against you, they are weaponizing that, and they aren't doing it with love and compassion and all the things I talk about in the previous video that I mentioned. One thing that has been really powerful for me is this diagram, and it's written by Gaurav Gopal Das in his book Life's Amazing Secrets. And in this book he has this diagram up here. Now what it says is, do you have a problem? Yes. Can you do something about it? Yes. Then why worry? Do you have a problem? No. Great. Do you have a problem? Yes. Can you do something about it? No. Then why worry? This is really simplified, and it is the way we all want to think. But in a moment when you're angry, you're upset, your emotions are high, you're not going to think like that. But it's really important then to kind of sit back, and one of the things that I do is journal, and I write this equation down, and I just say, okay, what can I do about the situation? I can talk about it with this person, I can have that difficult conversation, great, I can do it. Okay, what can I do with this person? Do you know what? I can't talk to user 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 because I don't have their number and I don't really care to talk to them, so I can't do anything about it, so I'm going to let it go. Not allowing other people's projections to consume your thoughts in your day is a really powerful skill to learn, and it only happens with time. And now I no longer really get upset for more than 5 seconds about a mean comment I hear on Instagram. I also am super blessed, and I only have like amazing people in my life, and so generally I don't get a lot of negativity from them. But when I do and I catch myself in a situation that I'm finding difficult, I just journal. I write down all of my thoughts, all of my feelings. I'm so angry, I'm so upset. And I really, really do that because it really allows me to just let everything out. Another thing I do is I pretend I'm talking to a therapist. So I'll go for a walk and I'll pretend that I'm saying, well, you know, this person really hurt me because of this, and da-da-da-da, and I feel they're being really negative about this, and da-da-da-da, and I will pretend to be talking to a therapist, because the thing is when you spend time alone, a lot of the answers will come to you. When you go to therapy, the therapist is not going to tell you the answers to your problems. They're just going to hold space to ask you the right questions so that you can come up with the right answers. So I've kind of got into that practice of being able to do that for myself and asking myself those questions, because if I'm honest, therapy isn't always accessible to a lot of people, and it's not always accessible in terms of money, in terms of location, in terms of finding the right fit. And so a lot of the time, it's really important to know how to manage those emotions yourself. Ask yourself the right questions so that you're getting that best answer that's authentic to you. If you go to a friend, sometimes they can project their thoughts onto you. If you go to a family member, sometimes they can project their thoughts onto you. So it's super important to make sure that you're able to spend that time in solitude, because I guarantee you will find the answers. I want to talk about the importance of having the most amazing, positive people around you. And if you don't have those people around you, you can build a community online. You can join a community online. You can join my community, which the link is in below, and you can surround yourself with great people. I think it's so important to have the right people around you that love and support you. And I guarantee you, if you're feeling isolated or alone, you can find that community online, because there are so many incredible people online that will support you, that will be in a similar situation to you, and that will be feeling that same feeling or feeling lonely. That is one of the reasons I created this podcast, to eliminate that loneliness. But I really do think that, we need to find 1 or 2 people in our life in person, and then join a community or join a group of people online, whether that's your interest in sports or media, whatever it is. I think you can absolutely find it, but making sure you have those people can be really powerful when you're dealing with negative energy, because they can really boost and uplift you. I want to close this by saying that if you're struggling with negative energy, negative people, or in a negative environment, you need to imagine yourself as the most powerful person in the world. Close your eyes and just imagine you're being uplifted and people around you are just flying away from you. This bubble analogy of having a bubble around me and people trying to get in has really helped me to become really confident. And when I am surrounded by negative energy, I just remember that one line of, I'm not going to give you what you want. I'm not going to give you that power. I am in control of my mood. I'm in control of my emotions, and I'm in control of my mind. You can't touch me. It's the only way I can kind of manage that situation, because unfortunately we are going to be with people who are going to be like, that's nice, or like, yeah, cool, great. And I've met people who have never ever said anything about my podcast. When I've met them, they've never asked me how anything's going. They are just people who just, I feel, want to put me down in any way they can. And now I'm like, that's okay, you can, because I'm confident with it myself, and I know exactly why I was put on this earth, and it wasn't to let you affect me. So I hope this video has been really helpful. I really hope that it's helped boost your mood. I hope it's helped you deal with negative people or negative energy. If there's anything else you want me to cover, pop it in the comments below, and I will see you very, very soon in my next video. Have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, and I'd be so grateful if you could subscribe to my new channel. See you later.